Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm here to talk about the Digitakt 1.5 update, which probably has been about a year since it came out, so it's due time to talk about it, right? Anyway, I want to highlight my favorite features in this update and offer a little bit of feedback and praise and thanks to Elektron. First piece of information I want to share with you starts with the sample rate reduction. So in the filter menu, in the second filter menu, we now have this sample rate reduction. Sample rate reduction is the resolution in time, and bit reduction is the resolution in amplitude. I think that sample rate reduction is the more important and impactful one, and in fact, well, I don't know how it was never available. It's like so fundamental to a sampler, and now we have it, and it's just so amazing. It's so much variety. Modulating sample rate reduction is like one of the best things ever. Number 2, fixed duration recording. In this menu, which I am going to close out of that, you can now see that there is this, what do they call it? ER length, that doesn't really make any sense, but once we see, okay, 64, 32, 16, so you can set the amount of steps that the sample is going to record to be. So if I had a little beat going and I set this to 32 and I armed it and click play, it would record an exactly 2-bar long loop, and I wouldn't have to worry about trimming it nicely because it just is already trimmed nicely, which makes, I think, a really amazing workflow for recording instruments. However, if I had one thing to say or just a request, now that this pre-recorded sample length thing exists, there should be like a switch to add an on-the-one recording option. That way you can say, okay, record 4 bars, and I'm going to click play, and then I have 4 bars worth of me jamming out, getting into the groove, and that way I don't have to like do some awkward, oh, I'm going to click yes and arm and record and hit it just the right time, because you're never really in the groove on the first strum, or at least I'm not. I don't know about you. But now is on to number 3, looping in the sample menu. This is huge. And I want to say, if I could give a shout out to Elektron for, I guess, listening to my videos. If you recall in a previous video, I specifically requested, hey, wouldn't it be cool to be able to loop in this menu? So say I just record this sample of me talking, yada, 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 yada. I do that. Now there's this loop option. So if I hit left on here, that's going to make it so that this loops around on the end. That way, when you're testing loops and trimming loops, it's not as arduous of a workflow as I had previously demonstrated for recording perfect loops. This is amazing. Thank you, Elektron. If I had one comment to offer on this feature, it would be, hey, you got a little space for another feature. One feature that would be really, really nice is the ability to test just the loop point. The SP404 Mark II has something like this, many other samplers. Essentially, it would start, say, a little bit from the end, enough that you can tell, is the loop working or not. This machine is already bulletproof, but that would just ascend it to God tier status.
Okay, so just in case that wasn't abundantly clear, here I am on the SP404 with this sample chopped. So I could just, select the pad and play the whole sample to test the loop, which I don't want to do. Instead, I can press this roll button and it's going to start the sample close to the loop point just so I can test the loop point. That's all I'm asking for on the Digitakt. It's just so that you can be chopping long samples exactly and not having to listen to the entirety of the long sample over and over. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. Talk to you later.